And now, a quick word from our sponsors. And yes, today, that's us. Hi, I'm Kenny Benucci. I am one of the co-founders and the co-host of This Commerce Life. And what Phil and I do is give Canadian food and beverage brands the coaching that I wished a lot of the companies that I had seen in my old days as a buyer had gotten before they had gotten to me in the buying office. So what we try to do is give small brands, small to medium-sized brands, a head start and a way to learn all about costing, margins, the lingo of the land, how to do this, how to talk to a buyer, what to expect from a buyer. We do workshops, we do one-on-one coaching, we make introductions that actually go somewhere. So if you've got a brand in your portfolio that needs to level up, or if you just want someone to be a little bit better off when they hit the buyer, get them to chat with us. Reach out to us at thiscommercelife.com. Ping Phil or myself, Kenny, and let's see if we can help you and get you guys on the right track to success. And now back to your regular scheduled programming. Hey, welcome to This Commerce Life, an unscripted podcast that focuses on the stories behind small and independent Canadian retail and Canadian CPG.
What we try and do is deliver or pull out the story of our guests and give them to you. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly of retail and CPG in Canada. We're filling a need because we think that retail is hard on the best of days, but it's also a wonderful, wonderful place to grow up and make your living.
We also think that the industry, nor the people that inadvertently find themselves in the industry, really understand the industry at all. They don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes.
So listen to us, Phil and Kenny. We'll unravel it for you. We'll give you the story. We'll give you the story behind the story.
Hi. We're in a Starbucks by the airport. If it's too noisy, let me know. We can go sit in the car.
No, it's not noisy at all, actually. You sound great.
Okay.
You both look fabulous.
On our way to the Big Cheese today. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. We've never been.
Which one? The Armstrong Big Cheese?
Yeah. We've never been. So
Okay.
We hear lots of good things, so
yeah,
make some money.
Yeah, it's run by the same folks that do Basin Foods every year.
Which about the one up in the Kootenays? Which one is that? In the Basin, and you guys have done stuff with Basin, right?
Yeah.
We've never gone because we.
Oh my God, it is so good. It's so good.
Yeah, but is it just for people that are there?
I'm not sure. They say yes, but I see other people there. They let me in. I'm from Toronto, so I don't know how that works.
Oh, but you're special. Now that other fella, I don't know if I'd let him in or not. But
that Kenny guy, I don't know.
There he is.
Anything.
Kenny's in bed. He pulled the t-shirt on. And
what do you want? It's like bonus round.
I've never seen him voluntarily put that t-shirt on.
I didn't notice that. Look at that.
I didn't notice that. Look at that.
Cleanest dirty shirt.
That we're in the Starbucks by the airport in Kelowna because we're headed to the Big Cheese in Armstrong.
Oh, that's right.
Kenny, I'm disappointed. I'm from Toronto and I knew what they were talking about. It took you a minute.
No, I wouldn't have got there, to be honest with you.
Sorry.
I thought we were the Big Cheese.
No. And who the audience is. And I said to Joanna went to, she was in Vancouver Tuesday to yesterday for a Cisco show.
Okay.
So she took her husband and her daughter.
Yeah, it went really well. So currently we're just in the Okanagan Cisco warehouse.
Yeah.
But the hope is to be in a Vancouver warehouse. So I think
Victoria.
Yeah, I think I got some new customers. So I was honest and told them my purpose of being there, and there was a lot of support. So we'll see.
The organizer came back and said to her that we need to set up a meeting because there's a lot of interest here. So
yeah,
this is why I didn't go.
What'd you do?
I had surgery on my thumb. I really should come up with a really good story.
Yeah, that's
But
really kind of lame. Just
it's lame. I know. If Joanna couldn't have been here, I could have said I beat her with it. But anyway. Yeah,
Or you
and I'm
punched the
right-handed.
wall? Can't you say that? Like
I
business was
could, out of
driving me
frustration.
mental. Like
So I
plate
had
glass
this one
window.
done 3 years ago, and it turned
Wow.
out really well. But I'm right-handed, so it presents some challenges. But
Oh,
anyway,
it's like
Now
even
you'll be
for
ambidextrous now.
no, I'm just useless.
What are you doing? She's found
I had to
ways.
bring you know what, yesterday we had to make a soup sample this weekend. So I brought my 15-year-old to the kitchen yesterday and she learned some things. So that's good. She was good.
Life skills.
Pay her, mind you. She doesn't do anything for free or out of the kindness of her heart, but she chopped.
listen, she was there.
Well, exactly. So we
At
had
15, but even the payment doesn't work sometimes. That's not enough to motivate them either. So
Oh, I know. Well, she's she's a clothes hound, so
desperate to
and it's like
needs
we're
cash
over-
money.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, and I thought about canceling today, but I'm like, we have been trying to do this for 2 years. I said, Joanna, I think we'll just leave early and we'll find somewhere along the road.
Thank you for doing
We
that.
can do this.
We
So
really
Yeah,
appreciate
that's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For the audience, we have Stephanie and Joanne on. They're the co-owners of Umami Crave the Fifth. We love these ladies. We've been around you guys now for what, a couple of years, I think. Feels like?
Used to.
I feel like it's longer than that.
Probably
like
Me
maybe
too.
Maybe three?
Yeah,
three
maybe
or 4
3
years. Yeah.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
4. I think it might be 3.
We attempted to do a podcast, and then yours truly somewhere screwed up because we had one of you. We had Joanne, right?
I was in New Brunswick and it was in
Yeah,
the
you
summer, and
were.
you guys came
Yeah,
up
and we were in a
hang out with
cafe.
Peter.
Yeah,
We
Right.
were at Rustic Real in Kelowna.
Yeah,
Right,
that's right.
right,
That's
right,
yeah.
right,
With
right.
Peter.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that
And
outside-
thought
we were
hit
outside
record
of
and
the
I didn't
picnic
hit
table there.
record, I think so.
Yeah.
But we've been hit and miss since then. But we see you guys a lot. We love what you guys do.
We see you guys a lot,
Yeah.
and I think Stephanie, you discovered them. How did you
I
discover them?
discovered them.
Yes, because we were in Vancouver. We were doing some show,
Yeah.
and Stephanie said, "You got to listen. These guys have a podcast." She said, "When we get ready, we're gonna listen to them." So
I think
Okay.
Peter had mentioned Kenny's name to
that
me.
was it. Yeah.
And we were going and yeah. So Peter's the bringer together of
Peter is the
all
bringer
good things in the
together of
food
all good
world.
things.
Yes.
He's
It
a
is
beauty.
true. It
He's
is
a
true.
beauty.
It is true.
and he's retiring.
He's
but-
retiring.
He
Yeah.
is.
He
Yeah.
will continue
Yeah.
to do amazing things. I have no doubt.
Oh,
Yeah.
we recorded a podcast, and like 3/4 of it, we thought we're gonna get to celebrate and talk about. He was already like, "Oh, I'm doing charity this."
Was that a
and
podcast last
I'm
week?
feeding. Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't just us shooting the shit?
No, that wasn't.
Oh.
Well, it's kind of the
There
same
you go.
thing, really. But
All right.
Yeah. I don't think retirement will slow him down at
Nope.
all.
No, God, no.
I think it's taking the handcuffs off, actually. So I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
gonna go.
He always has things going on in the background, and
And he's so happy. You just can see
yeah,
the
Exactly.
light. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
he's
it's all good.
pretty easy going, but just to know that he's got so many things on the horizon and he'll still be able to do things that fill him up. Yeah. But
What's
in
nice
his
is
own,
that it's so community focused, right? Like I don't know. It's kind of, you admire it in a lot of ways because it's not, I mean, we'll all talk about doing things and none of us really do much. I mean,
Yeah,
we
he
might do
walks
some
the
money
walk.
things, but we don't do, but he actually,
No,
yeah,
he does.
he gets
Yeah,
in there,
he
man.
makes
He
up for
does
the
shit,
rest of
right?
us. So.
he does. Yeah, he follows
Thank
through.
God.
and he never, he'll do nice things. And we learned a long time ago, you don't pay Peter back, you pay it forward.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He doesn't
100%.
want it. He doesn't want to be reciprocated. He wants it to be.
Yeah.
Give it to someone else who needs the
Yeah.
help. That's what he'd
Yeah.
rather
Exactly.
do.
Yeah.
and
He's a
it's
good man. Like he really is. So Peter Boyd, just in case nobody understands who we're talking about, Peter Boyd is a good, we like Peter
He
Boyd.
is. We like him a lot. Peter Boyd
Yes,
for
thank
mayor.
You.
Love him.
He already is the mayor. He just nobody knows it. Or the mayor doesn't
feel like-
know.
I
Yes,
feel
He's
like
the
we just need to run
unofficial.
around and go, Peter Boyd for mayor.
Benefits from there.
He would be an excellent mayor.
he really would be a good mayor. But you know what? Or politics would drive him mental. Like, I think he
Yeah,
needs
it
to do
would.
this where
Yeah.
there's more control
Yeah.
and he can get shit done.
Yeah.
Good man.
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah.
absolutely.
Very good man. I like
Um,
Peter.
okay, so literally we could talk about Peter all day, but we kind of want to talk about you guys really. So I guess, full disclosure, like so many things, but I love Umami Crave the Fifth. I have a whole bunch of your sauces in my fridge. But would love, kind of the next hour is yours. Whatever you want to talk about, we'd
Yeah, wherever you want to go.
love to hear, like,
how you got here, why you still do it.
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's Joanna's fault that I'm here, but
What is that?
It's all-
Okay, let's
Okay.
start
All
there.
right. It's all
Time
Joanne's fault. Got
a
it.
little bit.
so
Got
she
it.
can tell you that side of the story.
So
Okay.
I guess it all started. I'm a cook by trade.
A chef,
And-
not a cook.
Eh,
A chef.
well, I'm
She-
into food.
She thinks that because she never did a red seal, she's just a cook. But
Well, that's not true. I think like there's the meaning of chef means that you run a brigade.
Right.
You have to have a lot under your belt to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went to culinary school. I've cooked. That's what I do.
You
but-
could be a chef, then you're just not thinking you're a chef.
Right. I took my food experience and decided to pursue a different avenue after
Okay.
many years in the industry. So the Umami original dressing was our first baby, and that started in a restaurant. So at BNA in Kelowna. So my husband is also a chef. He is the chef, and we always made that original dressing on a beet quinoa salad at BNA. So BNA opened, I don't know, like 11 years ago, maybe
12 in June this year.
12. Oh gosh. Okay. So a long time ago.
Okay.
And this day that salad still exists on the menu, and I'm pretty sure it'll never come off. I hope not anyway.
Wow.
So
Wow.
after opening BNA with my husband and working there a few years and knowing this dressing existed, I'm like, man, we had small kids. I worked in the daytime. He worked day and night. And then I thought, I don't really want to do this anymore. I kind of want to do my own thing. Like prior to this, I had catering, and I don't know, I felt a real sense of accomplishment with catering.
Her exact words were, I don't want to be Justin's prep cook anymore. Do you want to do this with me?
Pretty much.
Justin is my brother, so
Yeah.
I couldn't blame her.
So I just started researching and seeing, how to make this product legal on a shelf. I just had this vision of seeing our product on a shelf. So Stephanie also loved the dressing. We would do small batches and always keep her stocked and her family, and she would share it with neighbors and friends. And Stephanie is a social butterfly, so for her to get it in mouths and stuff was very natural and easy for her. So, through family dinners and hangouts and stuff, we were always just talking about it. And I said, hey, like, do you want to do this? Should we start a business? And she said yes. So,
Oh, that sounds like fun.
yeah, that sounds like fun. We had this vision, and it turned
DPG
out,
and retail. Yeah, sounds like a blast.
yeah, not knowing anything.
What could
about
go wrong? What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Yeah. So Stephanie said yes, and so it began. We just, a day a week.
Well, she started looking into it and, the regulations and
So actually, for the record, that makes it your fault and not hers.
Thank
Because
you.
she just asked. Had you said no, would you have
Would've been done.
continued without her?
she would have just had to keep me supplied. And
Yeah. And also doing catering by myself, I kind of knew also that I wanted to start a business, wanted to do this, but I really didn't want to do it alone.
Oh, see?
Right.
So if you
Yeah.
hadn't said yes, you wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah,
So
but
I
it just
think this is
naturally-
actually Stephanie's fault.
I
and
still
not
think this is a
Joanne's.
Stephanie issue.
Stephanie should know better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
But she didn't. I've had a lot of fun. I'm not rich. She said, we're going to be rich. And I'm like, okay, I'm in.
yeah, those were that really hooked her right there.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it started. And yeah,
Okay.
we started the original dressing. We rented a kitchen. We started with small batch.
We made 6 cases a day. That was
in a week. We would make 6 cases,
A
sell
week
at
or a
the
day?
well, we did 1 day a week.
One
So we would do 6
Okay.
Okay.
So you had enough for the farmer's market.
Yeah. So then
Okay.
we did farmers market, small shows, and then it just kind of grew from there. I guess our first store was actually Peter's Independent, of course.
Mhm, mhm.
He approached us at Okanagan Eats, I think
But there was a food show that ran here a couple years, and Peter loves to tell the story how we were there, and I had just gotten my braces on, so I could hardly talk. My mouth was really sore, and I could see this guy watching us, and I'm like, I bet he's from Interior Health. I bet he's a food person. He's got to ask to check temperature logs. And there's Joanna over there talking to somebody, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Joanna, and he's
We're in
coming
trouble.
toward.
Run while you can.
Yeah. Anyway, he handed me a business card and he said, my name's Peter Green and I run a grocery store. And when you're ready, I'd love to carry your product. So he had stood back and watched people come up and taste it. And
Yeah, and if they liked it,
at
he's
point-
thinking, okay, clearly there's a market here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there we were. And we were still, at that point, we only had like 3 months.
We had a 3-month shelf life. So that was April. We had a 3-month shelf life. I think Peter needed 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course we had to do all the testing and we had to get the UPC code and like we had to figure it out from there. So by June, I think the end of June or July, we had a
Like on the
space.
shelf. And where were
Yeah.
you making this again at this time? Like you were in,
We rented a little kitchen.
so you were in an
Commissary.
actual kitchen though. That's right. So, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we're quasi legit.
We weren't
Oh, yeah.
making it in the bathtub.
Right.
No, we rented a kitchen that I had previously catered out of.
Right. Okay.
So, the
Okay.
owner, Sue, she allowed us to go in again, and we got all of our interior health.
Whatever.
locations. And they knew her kitchen because she had run a little restaurant. So she
Right.
was kind of grandfathered in when all the regulations changed. But that didn't take long before it got to be too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from we started renting different kitchens. We went to the Italian club in Kelowna,
That
and
was number 3.
yeah, that was right. That was number 3. But the Italian club was awesome. It was the exact space we needed. The members were very supportive and really encouraged us to go there. They thought it was pretty cool that I think
Something was being made in their kitchen that
Pretty cool, right? It's on
they could
shelves.
get on shelves. Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
And
What the hell?
we were there. So they had a kitchen attached to a big hall. And we didn't have any storage there. Sometimes if we would do 2 days back to back kind of thing, but if my garage, eventually when it got big, my garage had pallets of bottles, barrels of vinegar. So I'd get this enough vinegar into buckets, like the big food grade pail to put that in the car. I'd load enough cases of bottles in the car. We'd go to the Italian club. We would carry all those into the Italian club. We would make the stuff, we would fill them, and then we would carry them all out into the car, and then we would carry them into Joanna's house.
Yeah. So every week in production, it was 3 truckloads in and then 3 truckloads out. So physically it was very demanding.
That's a lot of shit though, eh? That's a lot of
It was. Yeah, it was.
I was in way better shape.
A lot of heavy lifting, and I mean, we're still doing heavy lifting, but whatever.
Not as heavy. And unfortunately, whichever side you're on, the pandemic hit when we were at the Italian club. So they weren't allowed to hold meetings or anything like that. So they allowed us to store things there. Now they didn't have bay doors or anything, so we still had to bring it in and out.
Yeah.
But that made
That's a big deal though.
A big deal.
That's a lot. That's one less trip back to Joanna's house with full pallet or full
To the
boxes.
car,
of shit,
like
right?
it was.
All of it.
I can still see me and the guy from Diamond Delivery pushing a pallet of bottles up my driveway to get it in the garage.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, I was in a lot better shape when I was doing that than I am now. But so that was huge. And I think, you know, we did Peter's, Lakeview Market, like the local places. And then I can remember the day we went in to Save On. We went through all the paperwork to get listed with the Save On Locals program. I mean, it was very overwhelming for me, all this paperwork and all this language that I did not understand. But we got there and we walked into the Save On Lake Shore and we talked to Shara. She still looks after the local program and she agreed to carry our product. And we were so excited. Yeah, so excited. And yeah, it's all kind of a blur from there. It was while we were at the Italian club that, you know, a lot of times we would hear you need to have 3 SKUs. Well, we only had 1.
Right.
So it's like, that's when we started to work on,
Yeah.
and just started to work on the other SKUs. And we had a peanut one that was really good, but then we decided we didn't want to be dealing with that allergy.
No allergies.
Yeah.
And she had a Mediterranean one that was made with za'atar, and it was really good, but I don't know what, it wasn't an emulsion. And anyway, we came up with, we knew that we wanted to do with Caesar. And there's
We
a
felt
lot.
like there was, the market was missing a silkier, creamier Caesar vegan dressing.
And
So,
gluten-free.
and gluten-free. So we're like, okay, let's start playing with that. So
And the curry maple is mine. Like I just, and most people, once they taste it, really love it if you like
Right.
curry. But, you know, it does not move nearly as fast as the other two.
yeah, the other two are more versatile.
And then, so when we released those, we were in the height of the pandemic. Couldn't
So I said,
go
what
to
are we now? Like 2021, 2020? Where are we?
2020.
2020.
When was COVID? March 2020.
2020 March is when we shut the world
Yeah,
down.
shut the
Whenever
world
we
down.
So I think we had started development of that.
Well, no, we built and moved into our own facility.
No, the dressings. We started our second SKUs during COVID.
Yes.
And then, so during COVID, so at the Italian club, they allowed us to keep our stuff on site because the
Right.
members were not using
Yeah.
the club.
Nobody was there anyway, right?
Right. So that was good. And because everything slowed down, we had the time to develop new product. And then we thought, okay, once this pandemic ends, which will end soon, we have to decide, do we want to continue renting this place or do we want to have our own place?
Right.
Yeah. What's going to happen when they want their space back?
So
Right.
we took time because I was laid off of my job at in the restaurant.
And I was working nonstop because I'm a nurse in the community.
Right.
So there's lots of work for me.
doing her vaccines and I was developing, and then we got to get an actual business plan created to get funding to then build our own place, which we did. So that was March, and then December we moved in to our new place.
December
Still-
2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
I know it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Feels
Well,
like an
and the plan
eternity, but
was to stay there for 5 years because ultimately, when we moved in there, we applied for an equipment grant that would have provided the high shear mixer we needed to make the sauces.
Mhm.
We did not get the grant, and looking back, that was a blessing because, you know, who wants to put $200,000 into a machine, into a unit that you don't own? And neither one of us want to really run a plant with all
Right.
that goes with that.
Yeah.
And because we're in the interior, we have to pay to ship everything in to make it.
Yeah.
And then turn around and ship it all out to sell it.
Yeah.
So, but it was hard going those
Yeah.
first years because, well, you know, you just figure if you put it out there, people are going to buy
Right.
it, but it's a pandemic. When events did open up, it was like, well, what does it taste like? You couldn't taste it, so you had to describe it.
So we were on a real high for a while. It was working hard to get the business plan ready and to figure out this facility and to choose a place and to build it out and all that stuff. So that was the main focus. And then it was like, okay, now we just need to get into 50 more stores. So then hit the phone every 1 or 2
Yeah.
days a week, and I
problem to
would
get
get the
in.
store, and she would do the paperwork.
Yeah.
So we did that for quite some time, and then we're like, okay, let's go. Where are the orders? So we would get the first order in, and then it's like, crap, how come they're not ordering again?
Mm.
Because it's easy to get in. It's not necessarily easy to get
Oh
out.
gosh, to get
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That.
So that, I think that has been the hardest part is to
Yeah.
get turns.
Yeah.
On the
And
shelf,
it's
off
so
the
hard.
shelf.
It
Yeah.
never gets easy.
It is. It is. It's very challenging. We have created a really good following in the Okanagan. We're very proud of that. And in the Lower Mainland, it started, but it takes a long, long time to be recognized.
Well, and we recognize too that we're in a crowded category with those sauces.
Yeah, there's a lot of sauces, guys. That's, you're in a crowded space.
It's really crowded. So, so we've got the 3 nutritional yeast sauce.
Yeah.
The original, the Caesar, the curry.
Yeah.
And we also have the Worcester, which was not part of the business plan at all. It's a complete one-off. I know, Phil, you love the Worcester.
It's a
Anybody
staple
that
in my
tastes
house.
it
It's a
that
staple in my
can't
house. Yeah.
have, well, even people that don't have to eat gluten-free love it. There's connoisseurs of Worcester, we found out, but we needed one to make a gluten-free and a vegan Caesar, and we couldn't find one that tasted good. In fact, the only one out there was an American brand, and so Joanna made one. And then it got harder for people to get it, and it's like, well, why don't we bottle that and sell it? So, over time we've partnered with a distributor. Now we have 2, 3, but the orders for the Worcester just keep coming and keep growing, and it's like,
Yeah, last year it was like, we just got a PO for 30 cases of Worcestershire. I'm like,
and then 40, and then
What?
50, and it's like, what?
yeah, so that's
Well, if there's
been
no
tough.
alternative, you're in your own
The
space.
unbiased plug that they didn't ask for is, I really do. I tell them that every time I see them, but the Worcester is a staple in my house. I have the one kid who loves food as much as I do has a fish and egg allergy, and so the Worcester is like, it's right in there, right? So I fly from Toronto to Vancouver, and then when I check a
bring it home.
bag, I bring it home because there's a handful of things that go in that bag, and Worcester is one of them, right? Is the Umami Crave the Fifth.
Thank
So if you
for
haven't
that.
tried it and you're listening to this, you need to go try it. It's the bomb.
Well, and
So, yeah.
hopefully you can be able to find it in Ontario.
You
But
can
then-
always order it online. We'll ship it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
So once, a funny story. So we have the sauces, and we have Power Bowl mixes, otherwise known as, they were salad blends before.
Name salad.
They were named salad blends. Essentially,
Okay.
what they are is a mix of different grains, ancient grains, quinoa, amaranth, and either
Oh,
rice,
okay.
dehydrated vegetables, and then a spice mix. So those came to be because Joanna sent me into a store, probably Peter's, to do a demo of
It
the
was
sauce,
Peter's.
and she made this grain salad. Serving the grain salad, putting the sauce on, and people are like, "Well, that's really good, but where do I buy the salad?" And I'm like, "Where do you buy?" But I don't know. She just made it. So
You a
when
bunch
I
of
was
lazy asses, make your own damn salad. We only make
Salad,
the
but
sauce that go
She
with it.
had a really good point. She said, your average home cook doesn't know what grains to mix together that will cook evenly
Right.
and be done, so that something isn't mushy and something isn't chewy when it's done. So
right.
we took the think out of it, basically. So we came up with one salad blend to go with each sauce. So we did that for a while, and like real idiots, we ordered 50,000 pouches. Don't ever do that.
Dumb,
anybody,
dumb
for your first
idea.
dumb. And it said ancient grain salad blends. Well, we would go with, I remember walking into Whole Foods in Victoria, and it was next to the salad toppers. And it's like, what is that doing down there?
That's what you called it.
Anyway, you just realized, okay, that doesn't resonate with people. And we had somebody in the industry said, what about calling them a power bowl? Everybody knows what a power bowl is.
Yep.
It's like, well, that's brilliant.
Yeah, why didn't we think of that?
Yeah. Before we printed 50,000 bags.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we printed stickers. If anybody's seen these,
Yep.
it looks like we paid extra for spot UV on the pouch, but we put it on there, and lo and behold, those are catching.
They
on.
are catching on. Yeah, they're really so. Yeah, that was also a slow start.
Very.
In stores.
Plus, there's
Um,
nothing else out there like that. The only
Yeah.
comparable thing would be Uncle Ben's or,
Yeah.
the quinoa mixes. And these, you knew what to do with it.
How
You
many
could buy
SKUs of this one? Is it just the one SKU or is this
Three. There's
three
three.
SKUs of that too?
So there's so far there's 4 sauces, 3 dressings, the Worcestershire sauce, and then now we have 3 Power Bowl blends.
Right.
And
But we sold a lot at farmers markets.
Yeah.
Because at a farmers market, you're tasting everything.
Well, you've
And
got
they make-
one-on-one with people. Like you can spend
explain
5
it.
minutes.
You can
What are
explain.
you going to
it.
do in a store?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking to at shelf.
Exactly.
no. And we had done we partnered with UBC, the Sauder School of Business, a couple,
Yeah.
3 years maybe,
Yeah.
where they do the market research. So we gave them these Power Bowls. They could not find anything comparable in the market. So with innovation comes the need for education, which we just thought, oh, these are brilliant. But if people don't know what to do with them, then so that was a steep learning curve. But in December, just last year, we released 3 new soup mixes. And we took all the knowledge we had gained from made mistakes, and we ran 2,500 of each pouch instead of 12,000 and things like that. But
So the soups are a dried mix. So
Mhm. Right.
in each there would be lentils, rice, quinoa,
A lot easier
dehydrated
to understand, though. I get everybody knows
Yeah.
what a soup. Like if you want to go to everybody knows what a soup mix is.
Exactly. So, yeah, Stephanie and I also have another business partner that came on board, and he is a soup lover. Like, he's a crazy soup lover. So he is the one who actually said, "Hey, do you think you can come up with soups?" And he said, "The soup market is huge." He's said the Power Bowl market is not so great, but the soup market,
Yeah,
everybody
it's
in the world
larger.
knows soup is. It's larger.
It's large.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? You're not wrong.
But he wanted to make the Power Bowl mixes into soups,
Yeah.
which you can do, but that's not what they were designed
Right.
for.
They
Like,
were
there's a
designed
recipe
for
on
that,
the
and I
website.
thought if we're gonna make a soup, like let's have them, like let's make them better. Let's
Right.
set a bar, and then we knew that Mitchell's would be our competitor, so they're an
Right.
Ontario soup company, and that they're pardon.
They used to be in BC, I think. But
Right.
really?
They were a BC company, or I thought they were a BC company on the island.
Yeah,
if I'm not
I didn't know
mistaken.
that.
but they're moved. Yeah.
I thought they
but
moved.
that-
So
right?
anyway,
Yeah.
we thought they would be the only one that would be very similar to ours. Only we've incorporated protein in ours. So there's a pure pea protein found in each of the soups.
Okay.
They make 10 to 12 cups. So again, kind of the same concept as Mitchell's.
But they're
So-
gluten-free, plant-based.
Yeah.
And they have 11 grams of protein per serving when they prepare
And
them
low
as
sodium.
breakfast. Yes, that was another thing. Oh my gosh, the conversations we had about so. Poor Joanna, because she was afraid that if they didn't have enough salt in the mix, it would taste bad.
No, it would be bland
It's
because
bland.
would make
There's a reason. The reason fat and salt are so prevalent in kitchens.
Exactly.
exactly. And
It's
it doesn't-
logical.
But
You don't
we're
want
not
your
your
food
normal.
salty,
Yeah.
but you want it seasoned.
I want to taste it, man. I don't want to eat bland. I don't care if they have
Neither of
healthy
us are afraid
bland.
of
I'd
salt
rather be
or
unhealthy.
fat or.
I
Give me
believe,
unhealthy flavor all day.
I feel that people know enough to season it. If it doesn't taste the way they
No,
want.
salting after is not
No.
easy as
Yeah.
cooking with
Well,
salt.
so we wanted to avoid that label on the front, as you can understand.
Right. Because now if
yeah.
Front of pack
50%
is a
or higher,
problem. Yeah.
then you have
Totally.
to declare on front of
Totally.
package.
Not that
So
anybody cares, just we're clear.
Then
right?
we learned about pea protein. And so we got the first, one would think in Canada, getting Canadian pea protein is not a challenge, but guess what? So we got some from a Manitoba-based company, and it was great. We were looking for 85% protein per 100 grams, but it had like 1,200 milligrams of sodium. So with the recipe she'd come up with and the salt that was in it, it was too high. So we took that salt out because of the pea protein. Great. So we're pumping these out at the end of November in time for Christmas and all the events. And
Mm-hmm.
I called to get another bag of pea protein. No, they're out till the end of January. And I'm like, well, that's
Guys, come on.
And here we are, like, if we weren't making them and doing
We
a
were
market,
selling.
I was on the phone selling, which was good. But then we're like, oh crap, now we can't make them.
So then I got on the internet and I found a pea protein that had 85%. It was a Canadian distributor, but it was from China. But lo and behold, it had 200 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. So I got 4 bags of that. And the problem is it's a lot more expensive. So anyway, but we because of the lack of sodium in the pea protein, we knew how much to add to the recipe to make it. So then the nutrition facts were still correct. So anyway, I knew I didn't want to pay what I was paying for that stuff. So now I got into the digging around again, and I found a company in Saskatchewan that does pea protein. It's 87% protein, and it's ultra low sodium. So we plan to order. We hope we're going to stick with these guys. They're big, and they shouldn't run out of stock. But of course, they're like, okay, well, the MOQ is a pallet, and it's like, if I buy a pallet today, I'm not going to use that like right off the gate. Can I just buy like 10 bags? So we're still trying to work that out. But I wish there was. I mean, the internet's a wonderful thing, but I wish there was somewhere you could go, who makes pea protein in Canada, and get like a really easy, like a list. And I know it's really impossible to keep repositories of suppliers and stuff, but even quinoa, like our quinoa, we buy it from a company in Vancouver, but it's made in Bolivia. And people are saying, they make that in Saskatchewan. I'm like, who?
We do a lot of things here. Doesn't mean you're going to do it though. I mean, ingredient costs
I know.
are different. There's reasons why lots of things aren't 100% Canadian. I mean, I wish we could.
Exactly.
But nobody wants to pay $35 for the soup either. So you got to pick your battles, right?
Yeah. So now that we have,
and we're not mad at Bolivia either, so it could work.
No, we're not mad at
we're
Bolivia.
okay with
it has to be from Bolivia, not Peru, because Peru has quinoa that's too small. We found that out. So use quinoa that's too small.
Still good quinoa, but not.
It's different.
Our
well, you get a different yield if you put it in a bag with our. Right. So it's trying to keep the consistency.
Right.
But I feel that now that we have the recipes all dialed in, now it's to find ways, how can we make it cheaper?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of where we're at. But the soups, we have a Thai coconut, which is, of course, people will ask me, which is your favorite? I'll say the one somebody else makes. Thanks. But Thai coconut, there's a mushroom leek and a hearty vegetable. Now, they don't. All plant-based, but you can of course add, like when I make the Thai, I add shrimp or chicken. We've used you guys know the Italian meat master Claudio.
Claudio.
He makes a black truffle sausage. So we bought some of that, we took it out of the casing, cooked it up, and added it to the mushroom leek after it was cooked.
Awesome.
It was magnificent. Really, and then the hearty vegetable, my fussy children loved it when I used leftover roast beef. They cleaned the pot. You could use chicken. So you can make them whatever you want to be. And that just adds more protein. And the price point for those, we're trying to meet Mitchell's price point. And it's just about how do you get people to try all that. So, there's the promos, and our distributors have just started, with the soups, and
like a matter of weeks ago, they ordered the first, put in the first PO of soups, and then one of them has since reordered as of 2 days ago. So the good thing about these soups is they're on the shelf and there's repeat buys.
All you want.
Exactly, yeah.
And you're going into fall pretty soon. It's only starting spring, but we're going to be going in fall pretty quick. Soup season will pick up again, so you got a chance to get your shit together, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're late kind of coming into it. But
you are late.
That's okay. But we can talk about getting big orders for August to promo in September.
Absolutely. Well, you can test and try it. Now, what works, what price points work. If it sells at a price point in July, definitively, that's going to work in October.
Exactly.
Totally, yeah.
So
right?
that's
But at
kind
least you can play with it.
So the
Yeah.
only problem is then for you to succeed, I have to wish for you to have like an awful winter like the one we just had, at least here in Ontario. Do you know what I mean? Because the colder
A
the
what?
winter, the more soup. The colder the
soup's
winter, the
lovely.
more soup. So the problem
I
is
know.
for you to succeed, I have to suffer another winter.
Oh, it's
I'm
all
unsure.
good. It's East Coast. Don't worry
I'm
about
unsure.
I will send you 3 soups. It's like I
Do you
will.
still have snow?
No, but today it's -8, feels like -16.
I was in
Yeah,
Saskatoon
awesome.
for the Western Ringette Championship, and
Yeah,
it made me really love Kelowna.
yeah.
I
It's
couldn't survive as an East Coaster any. I don't think I'm too frail. So anyway, that's where
awesome though. What you guys are
we're
doing
at.
this thing.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
We
Soup
met
mixes?
a distributor at CHFA. CHFA, we kind of went on our own,
Mhm.
and it was fine. But we met somebody that distributes Ontario East, and that seemed like always a pipe dream with the sauces. Glass is hard. If it freezes, it's not any good. But these power bowls and soups, we can ship those all day, anywhere. So now that we last year too, there wasn't a lot of growth sales wise because we did a complete rebrand.
Yeah.
We recognized that our label didn't serve us well in telling people. So we did a complete, it used to be called dressing, dip, and finishing sauces. And what have our customers been telling us forever?
That they put the sauces on everything.
So they're dressing and everything sauces.
Yeah. So we were actually going
Amazing.
through our label change when you guys were in Kelowna and we did
Yep,
that
I
workshop.
remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when we really got our shit together and we changed that. And so that's been a positive thing. We've changed our bottle. The other bottles we used were higher. We were having a hard time with shelf placement. So changed the bottle, changed the label, changed the package of the power bowls, and then created new soups. So there's been a lot that has happened in the last year and a
Been a
half.
little busy.
Cash flow is still
Cash flow is
as you can
terrible.
imagine.
It sucks. But in the past, I don't know, 3 months,
Yeah.
things have really picked up. Like our sales are up, everything is up. And it's been like
We're excited.
we're going kind of
It's like,
Yeah.
like, is something really shifting in the universe?
Yeah.
Like, is it finally happening?
It
Because
just takes time
No,
sometimes.
it's
Like,
not
everybody
shifting.
thinks
It's
easy.
you. It's you because the
It's
work
just
that you put in
persistence. You got to keep
before.
plugging.
Yeah,
and
the
you
work
gotta
that you
just
put in
learn the
before
game.
is now paying off, right? So you're
Yeah,
starting to
it's just
generate
part-
momentum that you've been pushing.
Everybody thinks it's so easy, right? They
it
don't
is
get
not.
it.
This
It
is
should be.
incredibly hard.
I get
Yeah.
it. It should be super easy. It's not complicated. Someone makes it, sells it, someone buys it, sells it to someone else, repeat. That's it. And yet it's a nightmare. But once you get rolling, you can get
Yeah,
rolling.
once you find your,
Yeah,
we
your groove.
would really
Yeah.
wag all of this, but
Yeah.
I really feel like there's a lot of potential. We do everything that we make in food service too. So, we've got wineries, little cafes that are
Mhm.
using our Powerball mixes. So it's like, I actually had somebody reach out to me. They have, they're a distributor in the prairies and, looking to increase, they do like barbecue supplies and pellets and stuff like that, but they do offer food as well. And they are interested in potentially carrying our products. And it's like, well, we can make a little tweak to the labels that says grilling and everything sauce if you want, because we've long cooked with those and we've worked really hard to try to not put them in the silo of salad dressing, but that's the perception.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where we're mainly found is in the
Yeah.
salad dressing section. So we lead, it starts with dressing and everything sauce. And from there,
Yeah, it's kind of like whatever sticks, we'll just,
so now
Half
it's
the
10
battle.
products. Everything is moving up. We're increasing sales. We're doing less markets and stuff. We used to do a lot of markets, like sometimes between 5 and 7 a week.
Yeah.
years ago. So that was a lot. But as the years go on, we're decreasing our markets and increasing our retail.
And just, putting more presence in stores. We did a promo with Whole Foods for the first time in January. So we went on a road trip. We demoed in all of them. We went to Victoria, then we
Yeah.
came over to Vancouver, and they had us on this. The placement they had was great, and we were really encouraged that things were moving, even at full price, which was really exciting.
That's
we've
the
done
bomb,
some
right? To sell things at full
Yeah, I
pop.
mean, if you can do that, that's what you want.
Well,
Who knew?
we had invested in some promos, like you could be in a bag that was sold through Whole Foods, and you
Yeah.
provide like 500 samples that went to these bags, and you wondered, does this work? But they found out about
works.
them.
It clearly worked on this one. I mean, typically
Yeah.
it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, I know it is a crapshoot, and it was like, well, if it, like, I am encouraged. Like the last couple months, the number of Powerball mixes, and they don't have the soups; they just have the sauces and the Powerballs. But hopefully, they'll bring those in when they next evaluate soup. So there's all kinds of possibilities. The problem is it's still mostly just the two of us. We have started working with a broker in Alberta. So Alberta movement has been really important, but till now it's really kind of
Stuck
not
a little bit. Yeah.
And anyway, he's doing great things over there, and we'll see what happens. We had the Sobeys in Okotoks isn't owned by Sobeys, like, so they're an independent, and they agreed to
Okay.
take everything in. So that was just a month ago. So they've got it in there, and we're kind of trialing that, like, do we have
You guys
what
are
price we'll
slowly
do that?
slowly
You
getting
gotta keep banging,
everywhere.
man. Just keep knocking on doors.
Well, and that's
the game.
what we're doing. And then
Yeah, that's
we,
awesome.
we desperately, well, not desperately, I don't want to say we're desperate for anything, but we have been trying for a long, long time to find an inroad to the camps, like to your mining camps or kind of northern places.
Yeah.
And we're kind of on a train now that might finally see it happen, because we have a good friend who has worked in camps and has suggested that our sauces in particular, or even our whatever, so it's like you got to find the right person to talk to. And that's been a journey, but we think maybe it might finally be.
It could. I mean, or just find the right. There's typically what's probably the same as there's one or two distributors that just do the consolidation, and they specialize in camps and mining, whatever, like all that stuff. It's like everything. It's just trying to find there's always a guy.
There's always a guy.
There's so many ways to sell this stuff.
Absolutely.
So many ways. Yeah.
And in food service, they could go in pails to camps, and they could just make
go in pails.
Well, we currently do 4-liter jugs. So when we sell to Cisco, they come in 2 4-liter jugs per case. And that's definitely becoming a good thing. But then a lot of the chefs at these camps or institutions are going to want a single serve. So
now we're looking into that.
We're looking into single serve. So I mean, you could sell them retail. Maybe the option is there.
Yeah.
But in camps, they're putting together 100 salads a day, or maybe more. Who knows?
They're not going to portion it
right.
The
So
cup, but if they could throw a pouch in,
then that
just watch your cost too, because it starts getting expensive for everybody.
Yeah,
totally.
exactly.
And we wouldn't do like we're thinking, if we did a package, just either a clear or white label with what it is, then all the information goes on the box. So the packaging is
and send it.
It's just
10,000
a container
in the box.
Yeah, it's just a container.
Yeah, we're not. This is not. Yeah, we want to do this.
No branding.
We don't want to do
exactly.
this.
It's just put the name on it.
It's not going to be fancy.
Yeah.
No. Simple.
Guys, I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
Look at you guys go. This is so
awesome.
amazing.
Well, we've been very fortunate to encounter a lot of good people along the way. Like 8 years in, it'll be 8 years next month that we incorporated. I think it's still we were so excited. I think, oh my God, like there's no wonder everybody isn't doing this because
Yeah, you
it's
Yeah.
really, really hard. And when
Yeah.
people, so when we, I'm all over the map here, but when we built our facility, like we don't cook anything, but we built it with the intention of running kind of a commissary to help
Yeah.
cover. So our lease came due in December, and the plan had always been to be completely moved to co-packing. Well, that hasn't happened yet. So we were given the option to renew for 2 more years, and we have 5 businesses operating out of our space right now. So
Really?
yeah. So yeah,
including us.
our facility, it has enough space that
Yeah.
we operate comfortably. How we do get some of our stuff co-packed in Vancouver.
Yep.
Although we don't have the money
have
to
the
do so,
Sauces.
we still do it in Kelowna or
the
the pouches we do. The sauces are made in
Yeah.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
So anyway, with this space, we have these 5 other companies that can operate that
5 with us.
5 with us, 4 other companies that can operate out of our place, and everybody actually gets a little bit of storage. So I know that in Vancouver and other places, commissary kitchens they're very expensive, and you're often doing what we did for years, moving in and out. So
You have to.
We plan for storage elsewhere.
Right.
You have
So we totally support these people that are
awesome.
in there, and it works for them. So maybe we're a few steps ahead of them in our journey, but we know all the mistakes that we've made and also things we wished we had. So we're trying to accommodate people as well. And I mean, yeah, it pays for a good portion of our rent.
We've got, so there's us, we have a mezzanine upstairs that we just store stuff. We've got our office, but we have a business up there that manufactures biothane pet leashes and collars. So she comes
Wow.
and goes.
Okay.
Anything she does really doesn't affect anybody else.
Yeah.
Unless we have a compressor that we can both use. And then we have another company that does a lot of fermentation. So he is very, very busy in the late summer, fall, because his produce and, takes up a lot more of the kitchen time that time of year. But there's another space that, we just ask each other, hey, you're in here. When he does ghost peppers, we keep it clear. Nobody goes in. So it's like,
Yeah.
just let us know when you
You have to wear a gas
if
mask.
we have to have a gas mask,
Totally.
let us. We won't come. And then we have another sauce manufacturer that produces maybe once a month and has this little storage space. And then we just have a young couple moving in that's starting a gelato company. So they're gonna
Listen, they help
Yummy.
pay the rent, man.
Yeah.
It's all
Helps pay
good.
the rent, and we
And
can
it's good
all
for everybody to be around people that are going to be in the same position, same place. Good learning,
well, and it's
good
like
sense of
okay, well,
community.
you can't do that. That's not really food safe. Like, and nobody's fun like that, but it's like we run a very tight ship.
But
we
that's
don't bring-
great.
Yeah, and it's like if we didn't need this space come 2 years when the rent comes due again, it's like if there's a need for it and it's functioning and profitable, why wouldn't we hang on to it? Because you never get that $100,000 back that you put into leasehold improvements. But if the rent doesn't go through the roof and it's needed, then we're happy to provide it. And for the first time, we've had to turn people away because we're kind of
now we're maxed out. with
If we
space.
didn't have all of our stuff in there, we could have
That's
more
good
space.
though. That's a nice position to be in. Whatever, man. That's
It is.
awesome.
It is.
And everybody else is comfortable in there. Like I think that when Hayden comes in to mix his sauces and stuff, he feels he's comfortable in there. We can work. I can be in the back scaling power bowls and doing my thing. He can be out front doing whatever he does. Stephanie's out in the very front room packaging, and Jessica's upstairs making her leashes. Like it's a very comfortable. We're a little family. We all get along. We all see each other still at the farmers market. So it's
good.
Kelowna has a nice supportive community.
Yeah.
When it comes to food manufacturing, like there's 2 sauce companies in our facility, but we don't look at them like they're the the competition or
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
or anything. We learn from each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one big thing in this industry is going to Vancouver and meeting all of the people, meeting you guys. We're always learning. We're always learning through other people's
Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know
People like to talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, and I can honestly, when people are successful and or show, you applaud them because you know
Yeah.
how
You really do.
hard
Yeah.
to get there.
We get excited a lot, right? Like we see, we met you guys and you guys were working hard at it, and then, just watching you guys like power through what you had to figure out. It's so exciting to see where you are, right? Like it's just, yeah. I can't wait.
Cool.
I can't wait until I can film the day that I can go to my local grocery store and pick it up. I'm going to do it, like, because I love it, right? Because I think everyone, the normal consumer thinks, what's the big deal? You make it, you put it, and then you don't, like, it's like to get across this country takes a brand probably an average of like 8 to 10 years to get across this country,
tell
right?
them what Ruby's friend said.
What?
Remember, they were Joanna's daughter's in grade 7.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got the biggest kick out of this because we'll go to Armstrong this weekend,
Yeah.
the event, and there will be so many people that have never heard of us before.
Okay.
But we make it an hour down
Yeah.
the road, right? But her daughter, you can tell them, I laugh.
So they're doing this project at school. It's called a CARE project. And they work on different things around the community, but Ruby and her friends have chosen food. So they're talking about locally made products, farmers, the produce in the Okanagan and all that stuff. And Ruby said, oh, well, my mom can help because my mom makes umami. And her friend was like, your mom makes umami? She's like, I know somebody famous.
Yes, you do.
Yes, it's
Like,
true. You
Super
do.
famous.
That is the
Yeah.
nicest
That's cute.
thing I've ever heard.
That's cute.
But we've seen adults. What do you mean? You make it? You make it. Because when you're doing a demo, they figure you're hired by the company to do it. Like, no, I make it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. It's fun. And that's why we continue to do markets and demos, not only to promote the product, but because that fills us up.
Yeah,
It fills our heart. And we know that on the really bad days that
there's a lot of highs.
there's a lot of highs.
And there's a lot of lows.
They balance out.
Look at you guys.
But I'm going to get
so
to Cabo. I
excited.
keep saying, Joanna, is it time? Can we retire? Can I go to Cabo?
Not yet. Not yet.
I'll get there.
It'll come. The day will come.
No, you
We'll come.
You just got to keep.
your problem is you're gonna get to Cabo and then you look around and go,
You're gonna be bored
"Oh,
to tears.
you know what this place is missing? I know
Probably.
what
I
this
just wanna
place
go
is
for a week.
missing.
A little umami on that salad bar.
We say
Yeah.
that.
You know what you
everywhere.
need? You need some Worcester. Hang on one second. Let me-
Yeah. Well, we have customers, families that when they go on vacation, they do bring a bottle with them
Oh yeah.
because
I'll
they
bet.
can eat salad without it.
I've never been to Hawaii, but bottles of umami have been.
Yeah.
Australia.
That's
And whenever
cool.
I have
Oh my
friends
God.
that go away, it's like,
Guys,
you run out, just call me. I'll head to
I
the
think
airport.
that's
That's
a
super
really
cool.
great, bring your stuff, go to Hawaii, check out the market, do some market research. This
There
feels
you go.
like,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Well, the U.S. is a whole other.
I had a family.
Hawaii
in
isn't
Sickle.
quite the U.S. They
Well,
wish
I
they
know
weren't part of it. So, sorry, you were saying you have.
I was doing a market in Penticton one day, and this lady comes. She buys a bottle. She said, "Can I give you a hug?" I said,
Sure.
"Okay." So gave her a hug, and she said, "My family and I are going to Africa, and we're talking about what we're packing, whatever." So they brought a bottle of umami with them. I was like, "This is so
Oh my
cool."
God, that's so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Like, that's the level of,
when
I
you
don't
like
want to
it,
say I
All
should,
wonderful.
but,
Good
Some
stories,
people
man.
have
That's the
to.
stuff. That's the stuff you want. That's why
Yeah.
you do it. That's why you'll find.
exactly.
Like,
That's
once you get past the shitty parts,
Yes.
the rest of it, it's a good
yeah,
road.
yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow.
So when might we see you fine gentlemen again?
We're out
Were
there.
you guys at CHFA? I walked around and
We were.
tried to
Yeah.
find your
Yeah.
little. You had like a booth for.
No, we are walking.
Last year. This year we wandered. We
Just
wandered.
Oh,
We
yeah,
didn't,
okay.
we didn't even do the show.
Yeah.
We got at 10 o'clock, by the way. You and I.
We
Yes,
do,
we
yeah.
gotta go.
But we
have
did
to
say
go.
we
Yeah.
walked the show,
Yeah.
but we didn't even finish the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was just one of it was just a lot. It's a lot. Are you coming down for grocery? You coming
Are
down
you
for
coming
grocery
down
or
for
not?
grocery showcase?
Is that
GFS or
Free and
whatever.
stuff.
GSF. Yeah.
We have not booked that.
Okay.
So I don't know what's
So no,
going
probably
on,
not.
but no,
Yeah.
probably
Okay.
not. Though
Okay.
we've done it twice and it's good. There's just some things that we still haven't followed up on from last year. So it's like,
No, it's all in good time, right?
You
You
don't
gotta do,
need to
you
do
gotta
it.
do what's
It's
right
not-
for you,
it's-
and you guys are growing
yes.
like crazy. So
Whatever,
right
it's not a big
now,
you
deal.
never know, you
Yeah.
might see us at CHFA East.
okay,
There you go.
that's my hood. You better call me.
Oh, we will.
Got a
This
spare
is
bed?
my hood,
Never
so you better
stay
call
with
me.
you.
Like, there's
We're gonna stay
food.
with you.
There's food. I will take you out. Yeah, like
Okay.
actually, no joke. So
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Date Kenny, you coming?
I don't know yet. If it conflicts
I
with
don't,
the
I
card
don't know if I
show,
want to take Kenny out. I
I
only
gotta
offered the two of you, so I.
We'll just send you pictures, Kenny.
I'm good with that. I think last year it conflicts with a big card show in the city. I'd rather do sports cards than
Never
get on a
mind.
plane.
You can edit this out, but my son has a big bin of hockey cards that belong to my brother. So they're from the late 80s. Someday I'll get them to you and say, here, take this and tell me if there's anything in there that.
Oh, that'll take 10 minutes. I can do that now for you anytime.
Fair enough. Might give
Anytime.
me capo. All right.
880s, I hate to tell you,
Thank
probably not,
you.
but that's okay. Have a good show. Enjoy it.
Thank
Eat
you,
lots of
thank
cheese.
you.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Nice to see you
Armstrong.
guys.
Will you meet
gotta go.
Shauna up there? Shauna Fiddler? Shauna's going
Shauna
to be
who?
there. Her name's Shauna Fiddler. I think she actually runs that show, Armstrong.
I
So I
don't
think,
remember that name. I've been dealing with somebody named Patty, but we'll
Okay.
No, I
look
think
for her.
she's in charge of the marketing and all the.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
all that
okay.
I'm going to send her. I'm going to send her to find you. You'll love her. She'll
Okay.
love
I'm gonna
you and you'll
bounce.
love her. So yeah, they're good
You
people.
say her last name is Fiddler?
Fiddler, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my grandmother's maiden name, so
Oh,
I'll remember that.
Maybe you're.
We
right.
won't forget that one then.
Never
Thank you
know.
for doing this. We love it
Thanks,
so much.
guys.
Have
Thank
fun
you,
in
guys.
Armstrong, and we'll see you soon. Well, I don't
Sounds
know
good.
when, but we'll figure it out.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Ciao.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
He didn't mean to do
I'm
anything.
leaving it in. I'm
I'm-
leaving it in. Okay, take care.
Kenny's having
Bye.
a fit.
Go.
Okay, bye.